The UK government has entered into agreements with the United Nations, an unelected global institution with many arms in international policy-making. For example, the Paris Agreement 2015 is a legally binding international agreement adopted at the UN Climate Change Conference COP21 in Paris. This, among other agreements, commits our nation's residents to climate targets without the full consent of the people. Since the Climate Change Act 2008 was introduced and up to the year 2026, £11.6 billion of taxpayers' money has been committed to climate projects and initiatives. Central Government's Department for Education DFE have implemented a climate change and biodiversity strategy in 2023. This covers 4 areas. 1. Decarbonisation. 2. Adaptation and resilience. 3. Biodiversity and climate education. 4. Green careers. This strategy is a guide for local county school authorities, academy trusts, colleges, and early years nursery settings to follow. It also opens up funding streams for non-governmental organisations or activist-led NGOs to link into. UK councils are bound by several pieces of key legislation. To name just one, the Local Government Act 1999 requires councils to demonstrate best value in their operations. This means that they must base decisions on concrete data and provide evidence that they are in the public interest. County councils are increasing the need for behavioural change agents and unelected officers to help speed up the policy implementation in helping to achieve carbon-neutral fantasy targets declared within the Climate Emergency Declaration. Council divisions such as the Environment Division are now partnered with circular economies, including connections to institutions such as the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, RSPB, helping to support the vision for a carbon-free future. The Department for Education has now set out a plan to encourage schools and education facilities to have Climate Action Plans (CAP) within settings by 2025. This is non-mandatory guidance. The department does not record which schools or educational settings are following guidance. Teachers in settings are already struggling to keep up with current curriculum pressures imposed on them through implanting cross-curricular learning, Ofsted target pressures, and social and extra needs learning, not to mention the uncomfortable pressures from a global to local introduction of the United Nations-based and UNESCO-led comprehensive sexual education through PSHE and RSE lessons. The County Council Greener Kent Schools term plan includes topics such as climate action plans, food choices, energy and travel.
What the basis was for the contents within each term, because it very loosely to me looked a little bit like the UN SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. I was wondering, is that something that you're kind of basing these term workshops around, or if this is something that Kent County Council has kind of brought in themselves?
The slide shows an example of a non-fiction rated phonics title, Our Incredible Planet, which amongst others has already found its way into schools. Suggested for 5 to 7 years, this is a read and write support book produced and supplied by Oxford University Press as non-fiction status.
We have a massive problem in our education system where we've had a takeover of our young folk by activists. And these people are not getting educated. These people are having their lives destroyed, and they will ultimately lose faith in every institution in this country. Some of us have already lost faith in many of the institutions, but hopefully we can reverse that with books like
Going on to the SDGs. So with the SDGs, I have a good understanding of those, but I think with that, I want to bring those in a little bit later. Yes, there are definitely, you can see how they would link in with the different themes. With the schools, I think it's something to bring in, and a lot of them do the Rights Respecting Schools Award, which they link in really well with, so I definitely want to match those up together. Thank you.
Sorry, members of the public can't ask questions, so. Okay.
The United Nations set out the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. Goal 13: Take climate action. According to the IPCC, the UN-based Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, global warming could have irreversible and irreparable consequences.
Susie, please.
SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals.
Central government-funded university initiatives such as the Reading University Climate Ambassador Programme in lockstep with the Met Office and STEM learning programs, keeping in coalition with NGOs such as Ashden.org, which themselves are running campaigns with climate activist networks and linking up with nationally captured institutions like the University College of London, which promote educational sustainable development programs, and active travel organisations such as Sustrans.
As well. So the Climate Action Advisors are, we're a group of experts and we have a range of different expertise, and we're helping schools, colleges and nurseries take climate action. We are a free service, and we started out really from the Let's Go Zero campaign, which was a campaign that sought to combine schools and students and teachers together.
Ashden's Let's Go Zero is a signatory petition campaign to unite all schools and settings towards a target of zero carbon by the year 2030. By signing, the school shows its intent to be zero carbon. The Let's Go Zero team includes 32 climate advisors nationwide who, in their own words, call themselves experts. They are backed via a coalition of 19 captured institutions and organizations such as the World Wildlife Fund, not to mention the OVO Energy Foundation, supplying prizes for good behavior. On to the Council's energy opportunities. Laser Energy is part of the Commercial Services Group, which is owned by Kent County Council. With over 30 years of public sector experience supplying schools with gas, electricity, and water, it would seem challenging to not see a conflict of interest here. Outdoor learning. There is no doubt that forest school and nature learning within the curriculum is a very positive idea to support children's well-being and help them learn about self-sufficiency and potential food scarcity. Especially now the future of sacred farmlands is in the balance from further large-scale housing developments, solar farm installation, and the very controversial attack on family-run farms from the latest administration's inheritance tax budget proposal. We need good levels of carbon dioxide within the atmosphere for photosynthesis to occur and for biodiverse plants to flourish. There seems to be an irony about a race to decarbonization by 2030 rhetoric that's overlooked by most, and an ironic confusion placed upon students and communities, which may increase this theory of climate anxiety.
Gas that we're told is a pollutant, carbon dioxide. We seem to have children now at school learn that carbon dioxide is a pollutant. In previous generations, the first thing they learnt was about photosynthesis. This is where water, carbon dioxide and sunlight allowed plants to grow. But now it has been demonised. And why do you demonise carbon dioxide? Because it's emitted by industry to keep our standard of living high and to make sure that there are jobs in this country. That is being attacked, and climate change has got nothing to do with climate. It's got nothing to do with the environment. It's got everything to do with destroying our economy.
Amongst others, Magic Cat publishing title named Eco-Anxiety, found easily available in a Kent County Council Library children's section, authored by a psychoanalyst and Freudian research member and recommended for age 9+. Arguably, the so-called supportive solution may even contribute to a rise in younger years' mental health issues. For governors, teachers, parents, and individuals concerned about the direction local councils are taking, under the influence of unelected NGOs, activists, external stakeholders, and global institutions that may not have children's well-being at the forefront of their motivations, there are practical steps we can take to come together and question this deceptive narrative.